Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi gets warm welcome on his arrival in the United Kingdom. Signing of long-awaited FTA on the agenda. Entire gamut of bilateral relations to be discussed. Russia-Ukraine agree to swap prisoners of war amid peace talks in Turkey. Two sides still far apart on ceasefire and key issues. Tensions flare in Southeast Asia. Thailand and Cambodia exchange fire. Thai F-16 fighter jet bombed targets in Cambodia. EU calls for an essential rebalancing of trade ties with China during a summit. Chinese president says ties stood at an inflection point. In sports, rising chess star Divya Desmukh makes history, becomes the first Indian to reach the final of the FIDE Women's Chess World Cup, beats Tan Zhongyi of China in the semis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in the United Kingdom on Wednesday in the first leg of his two-nation visit. During his two-day visit to the United Kingdom, Prime Minister Modi will hold discussions with his counterpart, Keir Starmer. The two leaders will have the opportunity to further enhance economic partnership aimed at fostering prosperity, growth and job creation in both the countries. Prime Minister Modi will also call on King Charles III. This is Prime Minister's fourth visit to the United Kingdom since assuming office. He has visited previously in 2015 and 2018, and he was there in 2021 for the COP26 summit in Glasgow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was welcomed and greeted by members of the Indian diaspora in London during his ongoing visit to the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Modi received a grand welcome from the Indian diaspora. He also interacted with the members of the Indian diaspora. The Indians who had gathered there expressed joy and admiration after meeting the Prime Minister, calling the moment surreal and emotionally overwhelming. And upon his arrival, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was welcomed by the members of the Indian diaspora with beautiful cultural performances from the states of Assam, Gujarat, Bihar and Odisha. DD India correspondent Gautam Roy spoke to the performance there. Let's listen in.
What exactly did you do in front of Prime Minister, and how is it, playing for him?
What we played right now is called Nashik Dhol. It's very traditional to the music what we play in India during Ganpati festival. So these are dhols, these are tashas. We practiced like for 2 months just to perform here, and it's a very intense practice.
And how is it for you? You were playing these cymbals.
It was indeed a great experience. Actually, as she mentioned that we've been practicing hard all through for this very event to perform in front of the Prime Minister. It is a very joyous occasion, and we indeed are very proud that we could play our local art in front of him and also everyone here that enjoyed. It was indeed a lovely experience to speak of.
How did the Prime Minister appreciate what you performed for him?
Well, I think he coming towards us and waving at us, appreciating the energy that we bring to this was a great, in fact. And we are very proud to have Modi in UK. I think he is a super Prime Minister. He has done a lot of work for India, and we really are proud of him.
And you put this together for everyone, for the Prime Minister?
Yes, we are very proud when we were invited to play with the Prime Minister being here, and I think it has really paid rich dividends. The Prime Minister himself came to our troop twice, so that's a very proud moment for Maharashtra Mandal London and the entire Maharashtra and the entire India. Thank you very much.
So that is the sentiment, sense of pride that has brought a lot of people from the Indian diaspora here to greet Prime Minister Modi on this occasion of his arrival for the fourth time in the UK, and in a visit which is expected to take India and UK relations to unprecedented heights through an FTA. With camera person Sanjay Jana, Gautam Roy, London, DD India.
All right, DD India's correspondent Gautam Roy also spoke to the winners, UK winners in fact, of the contest called Bharat Ko Janiye or Know About India. This contest was run by Ministry of External Affairs, and these winners were present there to greet Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his arrival. Our correspondent talked to them. Let's listen in.
A very enthusiastic contingent of the Indian diaspora, 1.8 million strong, has greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his arrival in the UK for the fourth time. And among them were the winners of this contest that was held here, Bharat Ko Janiye, which is Know About India. And he's met all of them, and we have some of them with us. And with him is also Nick, who's among the winners, and he's got a +91 number. Namaskar, how are you?
I do have a +91 number. I live in India, but I'm very proud to be here in England with all these wonderful winners. And I was lucky enough to be a winner myself. I managed to get the questions right. Despite being British, I have a deep love and affection for India and read everything I can.
Congratulations. So how was it meeting the Prime Minister of India?
It's a great honour. I've met
You met him earlier as well.
Several times over the years. But to meet him in Britain is a first for me, and it's fantastic to see him here with this incredible welcome.
Congratulations to you as well. How was it meeting Prime Minister Modi, and how was the contest?
It's a wonderful atmosphere here, I have to say. It's so vibrant and so full of energy. So that's been the best part of the evening. The quiz, I think, was fantastic in understanding a lot more about India. So many facts, so many nuances about India. So it's been a great journey to actually be a part of the content.
And I see you holding that up, so you're among the winners yourself. What can you tell us about the contest and the experience of meeting Prime Minister Modi?
I think it's one of the brilliant things. You get to know your country. It is very important for people like us who have left India and come. It's a very good way of staying in touch with our country, and especially when the PM visits you, it's amazing feeling, you know.
I'm glad that I came to this place. The High Commission of India gave us this opportunity, and I'm proud of being an Indian, and like Modi ji as a leader of a country. I think that's the best thing that could have ever happened to our country.
Did you have any sort of an exchange with the Prime Minister?
We shook hands, so I think that was amazing to just have, be there in his aura. I think it was amazing. It is a moment that I think I will carry with me throughout.
Wonderful. So there you have it. That's the kind of sentiment that all the people in the Indian diaspora have, and these are some of the people who have gone away from the country, but they won a contest where they've answered questions about India, and they have come out trumps, and that is the kind of sentiment that keeps them connected with their homeland, and that is what has brought them here to greet Prime Minister Modi upon his arrival to the UK for the fourth time, where this visit holds a huge amount of promise for both the countries. With camera person Sanjay Jana, Gautam Roy, London, DD India.
According to a recent business report, 42% of surveyed UK companies with zero presence in India now want to invest here by the next 2 years. UK's Aurora Group, a multi-billion GBP corporation with hotel, construction and real estate businesses, is also among them. DD India's Gautam Roy spoke with Aurora Group founder and chairman Surendra Arora on the subject. Let's listen in.
The Indian diaspora in the UK is 1.8 million strong, and over the years, especially since 2014, it's seen how perception about India has also changed in the UK, and that has been led to a large extent by Prime Minister Modi, his fourth visit now taking place to this country. And we have with us Surendra Arora. He's the founder and chairman of the Aurora Group, which is almost a conglomerate here in the UK, in the hotels business, into construction as well as real estate. Thank you for speaking to us, Mr. Aurora. What can you tell us about this? What is your perception about the FTA in the first place that India and the UK are going to exchange, are in fact exchanging? Do you feel that it will lead to the kind of promise that this relationship always held, which could be fulfilled now?
I think we're all very excited about this agreement, and it's great news for the UK and wonderful news for India, because the two countries have always had close links. And lately, especially since the financial crisis in 2008, and when things have been tough for everyone around the world, I think it's absolutely amazing that the UK and India on the deal, and Prime Minister Modi coming here for this very special occasion. Being a proud Indian, I think is fantastic. It's great news.
According to a survey, the companies in UK that do not have a presence in India, 42% of them are saying that they want to have a position in India in the next 2 years. The ones that do, more than 90% of them say they will build upon that position. So where does the Aurora Group stand on that?
So I'm actually one of those 42% that we don't actually have currently any business interest in India. Although being a true Indian, I was born in India. I was in India until I was 13. And that's something now suddenly we're all waking up and saying, look at India, look at the growth rate, look what Prime Minister Modi has done and achieved, and the way things and the GDP and the growth rate is phenomenal compared to the rest of the world. So this is something we will be looking at.
You believe in Make in India now?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's something I've always...
Any plans?
We'll be looking at opportunities. Absolutely, that's something I think it'll be an opportunity not to be missed. And, you know, and I do say, whenever I'm talking to my colleagues, my friends, my business people here in the UK, that we should see what a great example since Prime Minister Modi took over. And if we see the growth rate in India, if you look at the infrastructure, if you look at the airports, if you look at now, people in the Western world all talk about, I want to do business in India.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So there you have it. A message, a strong message will also be sent out with that FTA between India and UK, that India is the place to do business. That's what a lot of companies in the UK, including Mr. Arora's, will be looking to do from here on once that FTA is done and dusted. This is Gautam Roy with camera person Shubham Srivastav, London, DD India.
The United Kingdom has a 1.8 million strong Indian diaspora, which is looking forward to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. DD India's Gautam Roy has spoken with Lord Rami Ranger, member House of Lords, a well-known businessman of Indian origin and a Conservative Party politician, about the expectations of the Indian community in the United Kingdom with Prime Minister Modi's upcoming trip.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on his fourth visit to the UK since 2014. On the 23rd and the 24th of July, and a lot of anticipation is built into this visit. With us is Lord Rami Ranger of Mayfair to talk about it. What can you tell us about your assessment of the tie so far, and what do you expect from this visit?
This will be a mother of all trade deals, because this will be between the oldest democracy and the largest democracies of the world, sharing equal values.
Is that sort of a message that you expect the two leaders to send out as well when Prime Minister Modi meets Prime Minister Starmer?
Well, India is playing already a very important role in fighting against terrorism. The Quad is a proof that they value India's security. India is doing what the civilized world want to do. So therefore, the Prime Minister Starmer will be overjoyed to receive Prime Minister Modi, the most popular and the most decorated Prime Minister in the world, who has been honored not only by Shia Iran but also Sunni Saudi Arabia. That just shows you diplomacy. He's not only respected by Putin, but he's also respected by Trump. Yes. So two rivals, they envy. That just shows that we play the center stage. We don't want to join any groups. We are master of our own destiny, and therefore our contribution to the world will be balanced, collaborated, and just equitable. For the last 10 years, ever since Modi come, we say with proud, I'm Indian. Wow. Everybody now says, I'm Indian. Even the Pakistani friends say we're Indian.
Well, let's hope that Prime Minister Modi this time around, along with his counterpart Keir Starmer, lead to a more heady and fruitful relationship between India and the United Kingdom. With cameraperson Jaina, Gautam Roy, London, DD India.
India and the United Kingdom are set to exchange an over 2,000 pages long trade agreement document during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's UK visit on Thursday. DD India's Gautam Roy has sent us this report from London, taking a deeper look into such trade pacts which have been of tremendous benefit to India so far.
In the changing dynamics of global trade, one term frequently comes up, FTA, or Free Trade Agreement. What is this agreement? How does it boost the economies of nations? And which countries has India signed such agreements with? Let's explain in detail. An FTA is a trade agreement between two or more countries. There's reduction in customs duties, relaxations in trade regulations, concessions or tariffs for goods and services. These include topics like intellectual property, investment and government procurement. Under a free trade agreement, two countries or more agree to reduce tariffs or customs duties on each other's products and services, eliminate non-tariff barriers, and facilitate easier access to each other's markets. FTAs make trade more competitive, boost exports, attract investments, and rapidly create jobs. So far, India has entered into FTAs with several countries and organizations, including the 10-country organization ASEAN, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Australia, UAE, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, European Group EFTA, which includes Norway, Switzerland, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. India currently has over 15 active FTAs or comprehensive trade agreements through which it has expanded its export reach in international markets. These agreements have significantly helped India's MSME sector grow and provide global recognition to the services sector, particularly IT, education, and healthcare. The benefits of India's FTAs are clearly reflected in the numbers. 90% of India's exports to the UAE became duty-free, including textiles, gems, and pharmaceuticals. A 12% increase in India's exports to the UAE has been registered in the first year itself. A 25% rise in FDI inflows to India has taken place due to the Australia Agreement. A 15% increase in India's textile exports to ASEAN countries has also been achieved post the FTA. Agricultural exports have grown, boosting rural incomes. Duty reductions on sugar and tea in Mauritius increased agricultural exports. India benefits from technology and knowledge transfer. The Australian government has been highly beneficial for green energy, and standardization and certification of Indian products in European countries has become simpler. In summary, an FTA is not just a trade agreement, it's a strategic partnership that bridges diplomacy, economics, and national interests. Gautam Roy's report, London, DD India.
A summit between China and the European Union has kicked off in Beijing on Thursday, with leaders set to discuss issues ranging from trade conflict to the war in Ukraine. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa met Chinese President Xi Jinping at the start of the event. Ursula called for an essential rebalancing of trade ties with China during the summit on Thursday. Ursula also said that China and Europe should come forward with real solutions.
As our cooperation has deepened, so have the imbalances. We have reached an inflection point. Rebalancing our bilateral relations is essential. Because to be sustainable, the relations need to be mutually beneficial. And to achieve this, it is vital for China and Europe to acknowledge our respective concerns and come forward with real solutions.
However, Chinese President Xi Jinping said that China and the European Union must deepen trust in a turbulent world, but the bloc's chiefs called for real solutions to move past an inflection point. Xi also said that Chinese and European leaders must make correct strategic choices that meet the expectations.
The more complex and challenging international situation becomes, the more China and Europe need to strengthen communication, enhance mutual trust and deepen cooperation so as to contribute greater stability and certainty to the world through a steady and healthy China-Europe relationship.
And in news just coming in, Russia plane goes missing with 46 people on board. Air traffic controllers lost contact with an AN-24 passenger plane carrying about 46 people in Russia's Far East, and a search was underway, the regional governor said. The local emergencies ministry said the plane, operated by a Siberia-based airline called Angara, dropped off the radar screens while approaching its destination of Tinda, a town in the Amur region bordering China. Regional Governor Vasily Orlov said that according to the preliminary data, there were 46 passengers, including 5 children and 6 crew members on board. All necessary forces and means have been deployed to search for the plane, he wrote on Telegram. The Emergencies Ministry put the number of people on board somewhere lower at around 40. Up on your screens, we have the details of the breaking news just coming in. A Russian plane goes missing with 46 people on board. Our correspondent Akshay Dongre is joining us to get us more. Akshay, we've just given the important highlights of this developing news, of this breaking news at present. A Russian plane goes missing with 46 people on board. What more can you add?
Well, yes, that's the news. And according to the official broadcaster of the Russian Federation TASS news agency, the exact number of passengers that were in fact on board this plane were 46. That includes 40 passengers and 6 crew members. The plane was, as you rightly mentioned, was operated by the Angara Airlines, and it failed to, make connection with the checkpoint at the ATC a few kilometers just ahead of Tunda Airport. So it's quite, unlikely that there could have been a problem with the connection of the device, because earlier checkpoints were met and suddenly disappeared off the radar. So the concern is that the plane may have involved in some crash, because when we talk about the Amur region of Russia, it has a very difficult terrain as well as temperature. The weather conditions are many of the time it doesn't allow the operations by aircraft. So whether it is because of that, whether the plane has made any crash landing or has landed in an area where it could have landed, that all of these aspects are now being checked. And in fact, Mi-8 helicopters of the Russian Air Force are now scanning the entire area. As far as the route is concerned, it is part of the Khabarovsk, Blagochens and Tunda route. So this is the route that this plane was in fact following. But just because we have this information that the plane lost contact just a few kilometers ahead of the Tunda airport, it will be rather easy to find, because when we talk about the Amur region, it is quite difficult, not only as terrain, but rescue operations cannot also be conducted at all times. So the situation will remain complex, but the first and foremost priority for the agencies is to find the crew and as well as the passengers along with the plane. And if there is a disaster, then try to rescue whatever they can.
All right, Akshay, thank you for joining in with those details. So this was the breaking news we're tracking this hour. A Russian plane with 46 people on board has gone missing. We will get you the details once the story further develops. Meanwhile, we'll get you the updates on Russia-Ukraine conflict now. Kyiv on Wednesday proposed direct talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in August. Russian and Ukrainian negotiators met in Istanbul on Wednesday for their first peace talks in more than 7 weeks, with Moscow under pressure from US President Donald Trump to strike a deal or face tough new sanctions. Turkey, the host country, urged steps towards a lasting ceasefire and peace deal, but Moscow tempered expectations for progress at a new round of discussions. Kyiv had proposed to hold the talks by the end of August, with US President Donald Trump and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan also participating.
The priority number one is to organize a meeting of the leaders of presidents, where participation of President Trump and Erdogan will be most valuable. A real ceasefire and end to all strikes on civilian infrastructure. This can be a crucial first steps towards lasting peace. We propose to the Russian side to hold such a meeting of leaders until the end of August. By agreeing to this proposal, Russia can clearly demonstrate its constructive approach to everyone around the world, including our partners. Ukraine keeps insisting on a full and unconditional ceasefire as the necessary basis for effective diplomacy.
Meanwhile, Russia received a new group of prisoners of war from Ukraine soon after the end of the latest round of peace talks. The Russian Defense Ministry published video showing men in uniform cheering as they boarded buses at an undisclosed location in Belarus, believed to be close to the Ukrainian border. Over 1,000 Ukrainian prisoners of war also returned home from Russia late on Wednesday. Both the countries earlier agreed to exchange 1,200 prisoners of war each, and Moscow offered Kyiv the bodies of 3,000 killed soldiers. As we are tracking our story on India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United Kingdom, here's a video reflecting the warm welcome Prime Minister received, and the chants of Modi Modi and Bharat Mata Ki Jai echoed the streets of United Kingdom. All right, with that, we end this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Live.